Okay, why hunt for a flat in Noida or Ghaziabad or Faridabad when you can book one right within Delhi's city limits for under 50 lakhs? Well, you must be wondering, how can a flat in Delhi cost that low? And also, is there even room for a housing project when Delhi already seems to be bursting at its seams? Well, apparently an underground property market seems to be thriving in the capital, which has now come under the scanner of the Delhi Development Authority for being illegal. Here's my report. Mouth-watering deals for apartments in Delhi. New housing societies in the capital's urban extension zones are trading hot in Delhi's property markets. Companies with little or no track record have suddenly come into existence, promoting affordable priced flats in the peripheral rural belts of Delhi. The Delhi Development Authority has released over 27,500 hectares of land across 8 zones for residential projects, where its new land pooling policy will be implemented. Eager to capitalize on this opportunity, estimated to grow into an 8,000 crore market over the next 2 to 3 decades, newly formed entities are aggressively land banking. In anticipation of the new zones that will be opened up for land pooling in Delhi's outer circles, apartment projects have already been launched and flats are being booked anywhere between 45 to 70 lakhs. For a policy that is still on the drawing board, it would be a huge gamble for people to invest their money in any project that advertises land pooling. Warning the general public to beware of offers of flats or plots under land pooling, DDA recently issued cautionary notices. Because even though approved by the Urban Development Ministry, the land pooling policy awaits some critical additions by the DDA.
Guidelines have to be framed, and unless until these regulations are in place, nobody can say anything about the location, about the pricing and the time frame. Most likely in, say, by end of August or beginning of September, we should be in a position to notify guidelines about the land pooling policy.
Right now, these housing societies are accepting booking amounts on just an expression of interest. But in the name of approvals, all they have is a society registration certificate. However, even if the operational guidelines of the policy are out, experts state it would take another year and a half before any housing project receives all the documentation necessary to have some legal standing.
Today is a B2B opportunity, it is not a B2C opportunity. So when I say B2B, it is the business class, the institutional investor, the HNIs who can buy land to participate in the opportunity tomorrow after the land pooling policy is operationalized. The consumers who want to take up a position, they better be beware, because those who are selling apartments do not have a valid license, and the DDA by its own admission says it will take at least 12 to 18 months for them to issue LTCs and grant of licenses.
With camera person AJ Joseph, Vasudha Sharma, NDTV. Master Plan 2021 of Delhi is being seen as a major real estate opportunity given the huge demand for housing in the captive National Capital Region. But as the DDA Vice Chairman just warned in that story, it's too early for people to park in their money in projects just yet. What could be the possible pitfalls and risks involved? Let's get a perspective from Ramesh Menon, Director of Certis Realty. He's an expert voice on land investments and the 2021 Delhi Master Plan. Ramesh, thank you for joining us today. So the policy, approved by the Urban Development Ministry, but still the journey is still incomplete. So would you term the housing bets around land pooling speculative in nature now?
At this moment, yes. To be honest, today is a land opportunity. If you have a decent capital and you want to buy land, subsequently contribute towards the pooling policy, when the operationalization mechanism is announced, it's a very, very good opportunity, because then